case can be solved. Saturday at 9:30 on ViuTVSix. Finally, there is a TV program exclusively for dogs. And of course, for humans who love their furry friends. Scientifically developed, pup-approved. The content is solely designed to appeal to man's best friend. Let your dog sit around TV, stimulated and entertained by the exciting movements and objects. Or simply chill them out with soothing sounds and images. Just sit back and enjoy the fun of watching TV with your pooches. Dog TV, Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 on ViuTV6.
Welcome back. China's very own passenger jet is set to take the skies after the homegrown C919 successfully completed its maiden test flight this afternoon. The C919, built by state-owned Comac, looks to compete against Boeing and Airbus. It took off from Shanghai's Pudong International Airport just after 2 p.m. and reached a maximum height of 10,000 feet in the air. At least 15 flights between Hong Kong and Shanghai had to be cancelled for the 90-minute run. This comes after test flights were pushed back twice since 2014 due to production delays. A local think tank has come up with an idea that could help boost the supply of homes for rent in Hong Kong. In a report, the Bohemia Foundation Research Centre suggested letting home ownership scheme, or HOS, apartment owners rent out their homes without paying land premiums. Owners would still need to give a portion of the rental income to the Housing Authority to make up for waived premiums. It also proposed offering bigger discounts to applicants under the Green Form Subsidised Home Ownership Pilot Scheme for buying subsidised flats. It said the discount rate should be adjusted according to what applicants are able to afford. Turning to South Korea's upcoming elections, and the snap vote follows one of the country's biggest political scandals in history and could see a ruling party change. As Joseph Kim reports, many voters are turning to Liberal candidates with promises of reform.
For the past 2 years, Mok Sun-jae has volunteered at protest tents set up in the center of Seoul. The university student is around the same age as many of the victims of the Sewol ferry sinking, where more than 300 people died when an overloaded ship went down off the South Korean coast in 2014. She's demanding change, so tragedies like Sewol never happen again. These are what the tents represent: the resentment towards the government that led to the massive candlelight vigils here and to Park Geun-hye's impeachment. And for voters like Mok, these elections are a continuation of the protests.
For me, the priority of the new president is to restore trust in the government.
The protesters are not alone, with their sentiments being echoed among the people throughout South Korea. Although much of the world's attention is on North Korea, South Koreans are more concerned with domestic issues.
The first has to be stabilize the economy's infrastructure.
This election is an opportunity to eradicate the deep-rooted corruption. That's our hope.
Liberal candidates Moon Jae-in and Shim Sang-jung have championed economic and government reform, both calling for more transparency and regulation. An Chol-soo, a centrist contender, has also expressed similar views with a business-oriented perspective. Conservative candidate Hong Joo-pyo, on the other hand, suggests there's no need for intervention.
Experts argue this is one of the reasons Liberal candidates, in particular Moon Jae-in, is garnering so much support. But rather than having radically different or favorable policies, it's because his image and political party are seen as the antithesis to Park Geun-hye's government, riding the momentum of the months of vigils staged here.
Right now in our society, the issue of this election is an extension of the candlelight protests, with the general political mood being cynical towards conservatives. Conservatives used to have a strong influence, even in media, but this election, conservatives are linked to the impeachment.
In addition, analysts expect the elections will be a battle between generations, with the older generally favoring the Conservative Party, but the young hoping for change and a different Korea.
Tech news now, and patients suffering from balance problems may have new hope with the help of new technology. A team of New York researchers is using virtual reality as a tool for diagnosis and rehabilitation. Here's Roselle Chen with the details.
New York University researchers have developed a system combining virtual reality with a pressure-sensing mat they say could help people with balance problems. Marilyn Musco got into a near-fatal car crash more than a decade ago and receives physical therapy. For these therapy sessions, Musco steps on a pressure-sensing mat, dons a virtual reality headset, and ducks while spheres are virtually thrown at her, or looks up and down while maintaining balance in a virtual city landscape. The biggest thing Musco has noticed about her balance since beginning her sessions is a sense of confidence.
I'm at my desk at work, you know, as people are, and I would stand up and want to go down the hall to get something. Well, I'd stand up and want to make sure I wasn't off balance. Now I just stand up and walk. I don't even think about it. I know when I used a cane for almost a year, and I said to my orthopedic surgeon, when can I get rid of this cane? And he says, when you get up and forget where it is. So it's sort of the same thing. You don't even think that, oh boy, my balance is better. I think I'm just walking.
Dr. Anat Lubetzky heads the research project and was initially using her system to assess and measure 27 patients with balance issues and collect that data.
What we know about balance today is that there is no one-size-fits-all type of intervention for balance problems. If you identify the underlying cause of the balance problem and you intervene at that level, hopefully you will have better outcomes.
Ken Perlin is a computer science professor at NYU and co-founder of Tectonic Technologies, the team that invented the pressure-sensing mat and likened the mat to Harry Potter's Marauders map.
It's a flat floor mat that acts like a video camera for pressure. When you stand on it, you can see wiggling of your toes, leaning on your heel, footsteps.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Medicare healthcare costs related to falls in 2015 were over $31 billion.
With Anat's insight about how to combine visual feedback with touch feedback on your feet, we're able to provide a very powerful instrument, but we can provide the diagnostic tool and the training. And that is, that's going to be pretty powerful in helping to save lives.
The pressure mats are currently $800, but Perlin says that once they're able to make the mats in large volume by the end of the year, they can go down to $50 a square foot.
Quite amazing what that technology can do for us. Now let's look at the latest from the world of sports. Kicking off with football, and Man United are a step closer to reaching the finals of the Europa League. Marcus Rashford snuck in a second-half free kick to secure a 1-0 win at Celta Vigo at their Europa League semi-finals. Celta keeper Sergio Alvarez denied United several times but relented in the 67th minute, conceding the only goal in the match to the visitors. Despite the victory, coach Jose Mourinho was frustrated with his side's performance and knows there is still a huge task ahead for the return match at Old Trafford next week. More in football, and Tottenham are gearing up for their Premier League clash against West Ham this weekend. Spurs are chasing their 10th league win in a row, and talisman Harry Kane has scored 21 league goals this season and 5 in the last 5 league games. If history is anything to go by, West Ham beat Spurs 1-0 in last season's home tie. Second place Tottenham can cut the gap on Chelsea, who are on top of the table, to 1 point with a win on Saturday. And in some other football news, Real Madrid is celebrating Cristiano Ronaldo's controversial 400th goal with a club shirt to mark the occasion. The prodigy's latest hat-trick in the semi-final showdown against Atletico Madrid earlier this week took his tally for Real to 399 goals in 389 games, although the forward claims he scored another in 2010 that was officially awarded to defender Pepe. The mystery of the additional goal is something Real is keeping silent about. Moving on to tennis, and David Ferrer and Gilles Muller secured straight set wins in the Estoril Open to advance to the quarterfinals. Luxembourg's Muller was up against Pedro Sousa, who is playing in front of a home crowd in Portugal. Muller took the game 6-3, 6-2 to secure a last 8 match against Japan's Taro Daniel. Finally, here's some food for thought. Thousands of people in downtown LA enjoyed a free outdoor feast yesterday, made entirely of ingredients that would have gone to waste. At Pershing Square, volunteers served up a traditional Mexican stew made of fresh produce headed for the dumpsters. The leftovers looked less than perfect or too old for supermarkets to sell. The Feeding the 5,000 festival was held by UK-based nonprofit Feedback, which aims to end food waste in collaboration with some local NGOs and farms.
We're talking about perfectly fresh, delicious food that is wasted on farms. And I think blaming consumers is an easy sort of way out for supermarkets, saying, oh, consumers don't want it. They do. There's a growing worldwide movement and a growing US movement against food waste. And consumers are demanding ugly fruits and vegetables in stores. They want to know what companies are doing to lead the effort.
Definitely some food for thought for us here in Hong Kong. And that wraps up our news for tonight. Thanks for watching us. We are ViuTV News. I'm Diane. Join us again tomorrow for the latest on the stories that are shaping your world. Have a great evening. We will see you again soon. Good night.